What is operations management? Operations management is the process of delivering a good or service to a customer. And a lot of people think that this process is mostly automated, so just machines do it, not people. But people are just as important, if not more important, because of all the training that they go through, than machines in that production of a good or service. And what a lot of people don't think about is the necessity of making sure that their personnel are happy. And we see this a lot. I mean, if you ask just about anyone, as far as when they get back from work, how was work today? Most people are going to say, work is work. It was terrible. I didn't like it. But when someone can really enjoy their job and enjoy going to work, that attitude is going to change completely. They're going to want to be there. They're going to want to participate and make the changes that are necessary to make a company successful. And we can see this in a lot of successful companies such as Google, Amazon, Adobe. They treat their employees very well, not just with benefits, but as far as day-to-day production, day-to-day work goes. The employees really like being there, really like working, solving problems, and being appreciated for what they're doing. I remember I've worked for several companies, and some that treated me very well, others that treated me poorly. And it made a huge difference as far as the attitude that I had going into work and what I brought to the table. For the companies that treated me with the respect that I felt I deserved, I was able to provide a lot more for them, and because of that, I was able to create more value for the company itself. An example of this was for a furniture installation company that I worked for straight out of high school, in between high school and college. And the company did something really small for us every day. So they paid for our travel expenses, so gas and all that kind of stuff. But on top of that, they also paid for our lunches every day. Now, lunch isn't something that's very expensive for a company. They can afford the $10 every day. I believe that was what the limit was at the time that they would give us every day. But it made us feel appreciated and that they valued us as their employees. And because of this, we were able to work a lot harder and appreciate what the company was doing for us. And when they had our backs, as far as paying for our lunch, we were able to have their backs in completing jobs on time and making sure that they were making the most out of what they were doing. Now, another situation where I wasn't treated fairly, it was a job when I was in high school, and so because of that, I wasn't very well trained, and I could tell that the company had a lot of high turnover because of it. So I was working this job in the summer. I was a masker in a metal finishing company. So I would mask the metal parts, the parts of metal pieces that weren't supposed to be painted, that weren't supposed to get paint on them. And I was working long hours in a warehouse with no air conditioning, and they couldn't have air conditioning because of the paint that was in there. They needed to make sure that it dried. So they had to have the warehouse at a specific temperature, which was hot. And every day I'd just tear the hairs off my finger because of the masking tape. And so with all the fumes that were around us and the heat and the tape, it just wasn't a good atmosphere to be in. And the majority of the people that were working there was out of necessity to have a job rather than something that they wanted to do. No one liked being there. I had a lot of time to talk to them as I was just masking the same metal pieces over and over for 6 hours at a time. So we were able to talk, and you could tell that the majority of them felt underappreciated, if not all of them. And I felt like if we had been more appreciated in that job, production would have increased at least 3 times as fast as what we were doing it at. And that could just be, like I was saying before, with the other company paying for lunch, or just giving us a gift card every once in a while, doing something for us, bringing us in drinks, making sure that we were taken care of. But it just has opened my eyes as far as what we need to do to appreciate employees and make sure that they feel valued, is to be able to get the most value out of them. And that's what I want to talk about today.